I used to think that getting fit and losing weight was all about discipline. I counted every macro. I went to the gym for hours at a time, trying to burn the right number of calories to earn my meals. And all of those things left me frustrated, depressed, and anxious, and most often feeling like an absolute and total failure. The truth is, I wasn't lazy or broken. I was just overthinking all of the wrong things. These are the 5 things that I was so in my head about that kept me absolutely and completely stuck. How many times have you asked yourself, am I eating too many calories? Do I need to be eating the number of calories Susan's eating? She lost 30 pounds and I want to lose 30 pounds. So should I be eating that number? And so you go to the internet and do your research. How many calories am I supposed to be eating? And you watch probably hundreds of videos if you're anything like me, or you start searching all of these different apps to see what they tell you is your right calorie budget. And what I have learned in the last 4 years of maintaining 40-pound weight loss is that remember that these apps and that other people are suggesting to you don't matter that much. And I know you're thinking,
Alexandria, don't you tell me all the time that the calorie deficit is what matters to lose weight?
and the answer to that is yes. It is true that you must be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, but I don't think the problem is because most people don't know their budget. The problem is most people don't know how many calories they're eating. And the best advice that I have for people when they ask me is to track your calories first. Just without guilt, without shame, just put every single thing that you are currently eating without changing a darn thing. Don't let your guilt and shame be like, oh no, you don't need to add that. Put it all in the tracker and see what you are eating in a given day. And then take 15 to 20% off of that after you've been tracking it for a couple of weeks and see what happens. That's going to serve you just as well as you trying to go and search and pick different apps. Because when you go to different apps, they're going to tell you 100 different things. Give yourself a couple of weeks with that new budget and see where you are. Are you losing weight? Are you maintaining your weight? If you're maintaining your weight, cut it a little bit more. If you're losing weight, then great. Stay where you are until you stop losing weight. And the other thing is that calorie budgets don't expire at midnight. You can't just go into the kitchen at 12:01 and all of a sudden your calorie budget resets for the day. It doesn't work like that. And I think we know that in our head, but there's something about like having a daily budget that says like, oh, well, I can only eat, 1,400 calories. And then as soon as it turns midnight, I get another 1,400. But your body doesn't work like that and calories don't work like that. So rather than hyper fixating on, I must only eat 1,400 calories today, and if you go like 50 to 100 calories over that, you freak out and decide that the day is lost and gone. Focus on using a weekly calorie tracker and staying within a calorie budget over a week of time. Hey guys, if you're finding this video useful or helpful in some way, would you do me a huge favor? Give it a thumbs up. And it lets YouTube know it's useful and helpful. And I'd love if you would subscribe. There's also something called hype points now. So if you want to award those to your favorite creators for videos you enjoy, I would love for you to do that as well. And how many times do you ask yourself, how many calories did I burn in that workout? Did I burn enough calories? And you go and you obsess over your tracker, because I absolutely did. I would go to Zumba and I would look at my watch and say, oh, okay, I burned 600 calories in that workout. That means I get 600 extra calories today. Please don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself, because all you're doing is adding 600 calories that probably don't need to be spent. One of the things that we talked about in Noom was to basically, if you're going to do that, take half that number, because these calorie trackers for your workouts are wildly inaccurate. I don't even know why they exist anymore, if I'm being honest with you, but they do. And so that's where we are. But this data is not useful in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like it sabotages so many people because they, like me, obsess over how many calories they burned in a workout. And at the end of the day, burning calories in a workout is not a cheat code to eat more food or to earn dessert. Your total daily expenditure matters far more than the exercise you do. You should absolutely move. You do want to move your body more for your health. So rather than doing that, focus on what feels good. Focus on what gives you energy, what it feels like to move your body, rather than how many calories you burn in that workout. How often do you switch up your workouts? Because if you were anything like me, I used to switch them up all the time. If it wasn't HIIT, it was Pilates, it was yoga, it was something. It was always something new and different each day. And I would pick and grab and choose a random workout. And oftentimes I was like, well, why am I not seeing progress? And that is exactly the reason why I wasn't seeing progress, is because I was seeking the workouts based on what was going to burn me the most fat or calories or make me look sleek and tone, or, all of the stupid buzzwords that exist in the fitness space that make you feel like your body isn't good enough. What I realized after losing the weight and doing primarily home workouts for the last 5 years, I do go to the gym, but after becoming a strength training person, I realized that it's so much less about what kind of workout you choose and more about the consistency of you choosing a workout that you're going to do, especially if you are just getting started. If you know that you're the person who's not going to be able to get up and go to the gym and lift weights because you feel like it's not fun for you, if you're not going to do it, then you're never going to see success in that area. And so for me, I started where I felt comfortable. I started with dance. I love to dance. Zumba is one of my favorite types of workouts. And because of that, I started with MK Fit doing dance workouts on YouTube. And once I developed that as a skill in time, then I could branch myself out into, well, what kind of workouts do I want to do to achieve sleek tone, whatever the physique is that I am seeking. And what I learned that the physique I was seeking came through heavy lifting and strength training and progressive overload. And so it's not about the type of workout you choose. I don't know that you can necessarily get the quote type of body you want by doing just Pilates or just yoga, but you have to do the thing that you're going to do consistently that's going to get you up every day or most days of the week to be able to go to the gym or to go and do the exercise, because you'll make far more progress with your consistency than you will with an exercise program that you never touch. If you never touch the training program that you had scheduled for 5 days a week, then it doesn't matter. But if you'll do yoga 5 days a week, then do the yoga, because some is better than none. And I think it's easy to get in the weeds and in our head about all the intricacies of it, but that's the reality. Consistency is better than efficient or effective. I also used to Google and microanalyze every single type of food that I would put in my body. Are eggs bad for you? Is soda bad for you? What are the calories in X, Y, and Z? Do you do that? Because I definitely used to do that. But unfortunately, this is also something that I see people overthink all of the time. They're far too consumed with all the different various ingredients in different food. And when you start to look and research and everything, it feels like everything is bad for you. And so then you don't know what to put in your body, because this person's telling you eggs are bad for you. This person's telling you eggs are great for you. This person's telling you don't drink diet soda. This person's telling you diet soda is the best way to lose weight. And all you're left with is utter and sheer confusion about who the heck is telling you the truth. Yes, yes. Okay, just me? Probably not. But the turning point for me was, rather than focusing on all the noise and all the weeds, I simplified into what actually makes a good meal when I focused on eating whole foods that come from the earth and minimizing processed and packaged foods. And I also started to prioritize my protein and make that the main concern that I had. Because yes, protein matter, fiber matter, all of these things, they matter, but it's much easier if you focus on a system for eating whole foods rather than focusing on all the different varying nutrients. It does not have to be as complicated as everybody wants you to think that it is. Because at the end of the day, like I have said before, if you're trying to be in a calorie deficit, the thing that matters at the end of the day is those total calories. And there's certainly healthier and less healthier ways to do that. But if you are trying to lose weight, there are smarter ways to do it too, right? Things that are going to help you to feel full for longer. But that's not the crux of this video. The crux of this video is about overthinking it. And I think people get far too overwhelmed and in the weeds about what is on their plate rather than just prioritizing protein, eating more whole foods, and then going from there, because it does not have to be complicated. I promise. I know it feels like it does because the internet will lead you to believe that everything is bad for you, but that's just not true. I eat all sorts of foods that are both processed and non processed, but I try to prioritize whole food and I try to prioritize my protein. And because of that, I've been successful in not only losing 40 pounds, but also maintaining it for the last 5 years. So I think those, in some ways, that kind of speaks for itself. And I think most of us can agree that we hate the scale, right? I think for many of us, going back to our teens and early years, the scale has been a source of contention and making us feel terrible about ourselves for much of our lives. And we could get into a whole soapbox about that, but I won't do that today. The scale only tells you so many things. There's so many factors in your body that are going to impact the weight on the scale. Will Tennyson just did a fantastic video. I'll link his video for you to watch. He just did a fantastic video basically proving that he could lose and gain 10 pounds in a day. It was a terrific video, so I'll link it for you if you haven't already seen it. But the point is that the scale is only a number and so many other factors are involved. And with these other factors being involved, we can't focus our efforts and energy just on that number on the scale. It's not helpful for our mental health. It's just a guidepost for things. And so Rather than focusing on the exact specific number on the scale, it really helped me to take the photos and the measurements to actually see what my body was looking, how I felt in my clothes, what kind of energy levels did I have, and all of those things. So you don't have to overthink every single thing that you're doing in your weight loss and your healthy living journey. Simplify things for yourself and also for your mental health so that you can be the strong, successful person that you deserve to be. And until next time, bye, friends.